Hey everyone, I'm Sly and I'm here with D, and today we're going to break down more the Eddie Hall versus Thor fight. Now before that, if you could like, subscribe, and that'll mean a lot to us, guys. Alright guys, in the comments, last video, we're hearing a lot of people going for Eddie Hall, man. We're shocked because both of us picked Thor, man. And we had to reevaluate, watch the film again, and discuss this. Like, D, a lot of people are picking Eddie Hall. Are you seeing something that we're not seeing, D?
I can see why they're leaning towards Eddie Hall. He's looking good in his videos, but when you actually break it down, I'm like very comfortable with our decision with Thor. And the reason is because if you look at Eddie Hall's footage of him sparring and hitting the pads, first off, anybody who hits pads could look good. So you don't even have to be a professional. You can make someone who is really mediocre look like a professional hitting the pads. And so he's quick though. He's got a nice straight jab. He's like very quick on his feet, but he's building a lot of bad habits from what I'm seeing. And I'll talk about both fighters, what their bad habits are. For Eddie Hall, he brings his hands down while he's hitting the mitt and while he's sparring. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's like to conserve his energy, because he has got those massive freaking pythons on his arms.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the first thing I noticed. He has his hands down a lot, and then two, he doesn't use his legs. So when he's throwing his combinations, his 1-2, when he's especially throwing his power shot, the 2-shot, he's not using he's not turning his foot, and so it's just all arms. That's the first thing I noticed. And then with Thor, with his bad habit, from what I saw, is that he leaves his left hand down. So during his fights, that's where he gets clocked a lot. He brings his hands down. And for both fighters, I just feel that I'm leaning towards Thor, just because I feel if Thor just lands the clean shot, he'll be able to take Eddie Hall. I feel if it's usually it's like a 5-round fight for the amateurs. I feel if Eddie Hall doesn't get the knockout within the first 2 rounds, Thor is going to eventually just pick him apart.
Yeah, I just think Thor, all he has to use is jab. He'll be fine. I know that Thor, he kind of fights like Frankenstein. He's kind of stiff. I'm not gonna lie. Eddie Hall is more loose, but I'm telling you, he leaves his hands down, guys. All Thor has to do is pepper that jab, do a straight. He's gonna get him. Like you were saying, Eddie Hall, like, he is agile. You see him moving around, but I'm telling you guys, he's gonna gas out, bro. He's gonna gas out because he's gonna have to lift his hands up and protect himself, and he's got those big old muscles. Bigger than Thor right now? Probably, huh?
Yeah, he's bigger than Thor.
He's a lot bigger than Thor, man. That's going to tire him out, guys. I'm telling you right now. Everyone's picking Eddie Hall. Don't do it, guys. After the fight, come back to this video. Subscribe, because we're telling you right now, I'm putting it on the line, baby. I'm doing it. I'm doing it right now. I got my money on Thor. He's going to win the fight, guys. He's not the greatest boxer. Trust me, I know. When he went up against that professional, he was stiff, and honestly, he got a boxing lesson. But the same thing would happen with Eddie Hall if he would have fought him too. But he's gaining experience. I see a lot of things with Eddie. I'm telling you, like he said, he leaves his hands down. He doesn't, when he throws his straight, he doesn't move his hips. That's where the power comes from, your legs. When you move those hips, baby, he's not doing it. So I'm saying right now, guys, go bet money. Thor's gonna win, baby. What you got, D?
Yeah, and that was like what I wanted to add on, just because, like I was saying earlier, with you hit the pads, you can hit the bags, but once you're in the sparring session and you're in a real fight, you're not going to be playing those games. Even when I'm sparring, sometimes I'll leave my hands down. I like to be like Floyd Mayweather, Billy Joe Saunders, just leaving their hands down, moving around. But in my amateur fights, I'm not freaking doing that shit, because I know every fighter comes to fight. They come for blood, and the last thing I want to do is get embarrassed. So even though Eddie Hall's doing that right now in his training sessions, I know he's not going to be doing that in the real fight. Once they get hit, it's a reality shock.
Yeah.
And so that's what I think he's going to get. I think he's going to get a reality shock, like where, oh shit, we're in a real fight. And then your adrenaline goes like 100 miles an hour. Like you're trying to think, you're trying to breathe quickly. And so that's why I give Eddie Hall 2 rounds. If he doesn't knock him out within 2 rounds, I think Thor is eventually just going to pick him off. And then both guys, like I said, they both have their weaknesses. They both have their strengths. I just give the edge a little bit more to Thor, just because right now he's building those experience. He's fought in front of crowds. And so that's why I think the benefit of him fighting right now and being consistent is going to come to his play. high.
And a lot of people in the comments, they're not realizing he has like a 6-inch height advantage.
Reach.
I don't even know what the reach is, but dude, like I said, it's tough, man. That's what. Look at the Klitschko's, how dominant they were. Look how they were towering over everybody. You know, when they would win in the 2000s, man, they were just dominant because everyone else was like 6'2" and under, and they were what 6'9", 6'10".
Yeah.
So I mean, it matters if Thor uses his reach, uses his height, it's gonna be an easy night, guys. So.
Yeah, and then that's why I think so. So he just needs to use his reach, his height. But like I said, what he just needs to work on right now is just protecting his face. When he goes to engage, he does bring his left hand down, and that's where when he fought against that professional, where he got clocked, because he brought his hand down in the clinch. So no matter if you're throwing combinations, 1-2, jab, you always got to snap your punches back. Otherwise, you're gonna be hit for the counter. And so that's what he just needs to work on. And then what Eddie Hall just needs to work on is just building his cardio, bringing his hands up, and then just stop building the bad habits. And I'm excited for this fight because I think it's going to be. We already seen like the last fiasco of this YouTube boxing, and so we saw how that whole event would just like trash. This one though, I think it's going to be a good event. I'm excited to see this main event right here.
And I mean, like I said, like Eddie Hall, he's putting in the work because I don't know if you've seen his face, like on his Instagram, his face is just trimmed down, like. Complete. I'm like, oh snap! Like he's taking it seriously. He's out there for blood. Like, don't get me wrong. But I think his adrenaline, the first few rounds, he's gonna probably go all out, and I think it might cost him. He's probably gonna gas out because he's gonna be putting his hands down. And when you do that, I mean, he does it in training. He's gonna do it in the fight.
Yeah,
that's when it smells trouble, baby. That's when trouble is gonna happen.
Yeah, so that's our prediction.
That's our prediction. We're sticking to our guns, guys. We're sticking to our guns. And hey, if we're wrong, we're gonna have to eat crow, man. I'll eat that crow, but I don't have to eat crow a lot. I'm telling you right now. So do us a favor, guys. Like, subscribe, come back to this video, and if we're right, like and subscribe, baby. All right, guys. We'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.